You might think the critical phase is just when she lays the egg, but it isn't. There is a quiet turning point around day 10 when your cockatiel's body shifts gears. It's as if she flips an internal switch and says, "This is serious now." And if you don't notice this shift, you might inadvertently interfere. Imagine that up until day 9, she is just giving it a try. She incubates, but she still gets up frequently. She still leaves the nest to eat at a leisurely pace. She still watches you with that "I'm keeping an eye on what you're doing" energy. The nest is important, but it isn't everything yet. Then day 10 arrives, and you notice it first in the silence. She leaves the nest less often. She moves less. She seems more glued to the spot. It isn't laziness, it's conservation. Her body begins to conserve energy and heat. That is when incubation becomes the absolute priority. And this is where owners often make the most common mistake, thinking, "Now I need to check on her more often." Because she is quieter, you want to open the nest, confirm things, count the eggs, and make sure everything is okay. But to her brain, this feels like an invasion at the very moment her protective instincts are at their peak. Have you noticed how your cockatiel turns into a doorkeeper during this phase? She stays at the nest entrance, her eyes fixed on you. Her crest rises just a little. She tilts her head. She isn't just looking, she is deciding whether you are still safe. And that decision shapes her behavior for the rest of the cycle. If you get too close, move the nest, or change the routine, she might do one of two things, seemingly opposite reactions that stem from the same root cause. She either becomes aggressive and territorial, or she freezes and refuses to leave the nest. And when she avoids leaving, she drinks less, eats less, and puts more strain on her body. You might not see it as a problem, but her body feels the toll. Now, why is day 10 such a turning point? Because up to this point, the task was getting started. From here on out, the task is sustaining things, sustaining the temperature, sustaining the humidity, sustaining the egg turning, sustaining her own body. And yes, she keeps turning the eggs. But now, it looks more automatic. You see micro movements. Her beak touches an egg, her foot pulls one beneath her body, she adjusts her chest over them. It takes mere seconds. That's why so many people never actually see it happen. But if you could watch from inside the nest, you'd understand. She never stops. And there's something hardly anyone realizes. When she won't come out, she isn't being dramatic. She's managing risk. She comes out when the environment feels calm. If you're walking fast, talking loudly, or moving around nearby, she stays inside longer. It might look like she's being dedicated, but it could be fear. And at this stage, fear leads to exhaustion. So your role on the outside changes too. At the beginning, you're managing the shock of that first egg. Around day 10, you become part of the security system. You become the climate of the nest. Your mood, the noise you make, your haste, all of that permeates the nest box walls without you even opening it. And here comes the emotional shift. At this stage, your cockatiel starts viewing you either as an ally or a threat. It's a deeply intimate dynamic. She can't talk to you with words. She communicates through her body, and her body reacts to your behavior. Now, notice the changes in her routine. Before, she would come out and eat a bit more leisurely. Now she does the opposite. She comes out quickly, eats quickly, drinks quickly, and goes right back in. Sometimes she doesn't even enjoy the food, she just refuels. It's survival mode applied to the nest. And if the food dish or water is far away, she'll venture out even less. So, something that really helps without intruding is placing food and water closer to the nest, not inside the nest, but nearby. This allows her to spend less energy and time away from it. And that's where calcium comes in, because many females are internally depleted at this stage, even if they look fine. Her body has already used up minerals to produce the eggs, and now it's expending energy on incubation. If she doesn't have easy access to calcium, there will be a price to pay, and you often won't notice until it has already become a problem. So, around day 10, you do what the most experienced owner does. You stop fussing and start supporting. Supporting the routine. Supporting the silence. Supporting predictability. And let me give you a simple test that works wonders. If you're near the nest and she goes rigid, staring hard, crest half raised, body tense, you're too close. If you step back and she relaxes, she's just answered you without needing to make a sound. And if you want an even clearer sign that she's fully in nesting mode, she chooses to stay put, even when you call her, even when you offer her something. She notices you, but doesn't leave. That is her absolute priority. It's at this stage that many people start thinking she's sad or she's become distant. But in reality, she's focused. And respecting that can build trust in ways you wouldn't imagine, because she learns that you won't intrude while she's vulnerable. Now, let me ask you something. If your cockatiel is incubating eggs, leave a comment below saying what day you think she's on. Close to day 10? Past day 10? And tell me, is she coming out less? Is she more protective? I want to understand what you're seeing there. And I'll leave you with a gentle but serious warning. If, around day 10, she starts looking weak or very bloated, breathing differently, or sitting unresponsive at the bottom of the cage, that isn't dedication. That could be a sign of a problem. In that case, you need help from an avian veterinarian, because her body can't afford to shut down during this phase. But in most cases, the opposite happens. She's simply shifted into the right gear. She's become a true mother, just as nature intended. And if you want to be helpful without getting in the way, keep it simple. Clean water, good food, available calcium, a quiet spot, and a darker sleep routine. Then, just observe from a distance. To her, that is love. In the next video, I'll show you the most subtle sign that hatching is near, and why your own anxiety might be the biggest risk during this final stretch. Let me know in the comments, what was the most striking change you noticed when she started brooding?